Hello, and welcome to the Pet Healer Podcast. This is your host, Dr. Mitzi Vargas. And today, I don't know if you can tell my excitement, I'm talking about ozonated liniments used in prevention of plaque and tartar and gingivitis in dogs and cats. And the reason is because I read a very recent article. I think it came from the University of Iowa, and it was comparing how will ozonated liniments, we usually is a mineral oil, base, and they just put the ozone in it, trapped into the mineral oil. And how will that be applied after a dental cleaning and polishing, just like usual? Then they did a control group and a testing group, and they applied the ozonated liniment to the gums once a day. And then at the end of the period that they studied, they looked at the both groups. And amazingly, they found a striking difference, so much so that it beat the 20% difference that the Academy of Dentistry for, requires to determine if something is actually effective. Because, there's so many products, but the Veterinary Oral Health Council, they only approve certain products when they really have evidence that they help, and that way more, statistically speaking, than the control group than not doing anything or doing the normal stuff. So in this case, they had different ways of measure the gingivitis and the tartar accumulation. And it was a striking difference. They noticed that the treatment group were good in all the aspects that they were treating. And so why is this important? Because I was in the lookout for something natural, something that does not affect the gut biome, something that does not affect the enamel, something that is not chemical, another pharma thing, to prevent plaque. And I had been lukewarm, I would say, lukewarm in finding something effective. And so I really like this because it's so simple. You don't have to brush it. Now, the standard of care, so that I'm clear, is to brush your dog's or cat's teeth every day. Now, let's be realistic. How many of us can do that? I can tell you that my pugs will not do it. Uli, my German Shepherd, will let me do it, and Pluto will let me do it with the finger brush. But I, as a very basic clinician, I'm known to skip some days. And so it may not be daily, it may be a couple of times a week that I get to do it. And so because of that, because it takes time, but it would be so simple to apply the liniment. I mean, I could put it in my finger and apply it. It would take me 1 second, I don't know, very, very fast to do 4 dogs. And so, again, compliance is also important, because if you have to put it in the liquid, in the food or a liquid in the water, and they don't drink or they don't eat, then you cause a domino effect of other problems. When you have to add the supplement, like we have some of those that are powder and you put it in the food, it works to some extent, but some dogs won't touch the food because they know they're treated. So I've been trying to see what can be used that is not toxic. And so I found this very exciting news, because ozone is just a third molecule of oxygen, right? Instead of being O2, it's an O3. And it's a radical, but it's really, it has a lot of antimicrobial and anti-inflammatory properties. It controls inflammation. I use ozone because it also has anti-cancer properties. So those dogs that have gingival hyperplasia, like boxers, my pugs, any of the flat face usually have problems with gingival hyperplasia or epulaized little gum tumors. So I feel like this liniment would be a very good idea for those. How about the dogs like poodles, where they have such crowded mouths, and they constantly have to be doing dentals. My sister's, poodle, when he lived, rest in peace, Charlie, he used to have a dental cleaning once a year, and then as he aged, it was probably every 8 months. And at the end, he lost all his teeth, but they start with 42 teeth. So you can imagine how many interventions in order to lose all of them. And this is with excellent care. And he lived a beautiful life, and we took really good care of him from the medical standpoint. And my sister, obviously, he was the prince of the house. So I just ache thinking about all of the other dogs that do not receive such, intensive care, oral care and support. And so this would be a very safe, non-toxic product that is actually effective, that can be done regularly. And this can be applied to the gingiva, but also to the tooth, because the oil kind of like covers that area in between, kind of seals that area in between the sulcus, in between the gum and the tooth, that area where all the bacteria penetrates. That kind of like be like a sealant if you do it before they eat, or, at the end of the day. And I think that it is a good idea. When we use ozone right now at the practice, we're using it flushing after we are extracting teeth. We're flushing the cavity, the bone cavity with it. Then after, or before even we intervene, before we even put the x-rays, the sensor inside of the mouth of the pet, we rinse the mouth with ozone, kills everything, every bacteria, every virus, anything that is in there. And then when you extract the tooth, we flush the cavity that we leave with the ozone, and then we close it, and then we rinse once more before, we take them from the anesthetic, the gas anesthetic. So that's how I've been using the ozone right now, and I've had really good results. And some of the teeth are healing faster. And so that's why when I saw something, it's kind of like bias confirmation, or confirmation bias, like you said, because, I see it when I use the ozone in my dentistry. I see better results when they heal better, faster, and, stronger attachment of the teeth. And of course, I can't have everybody buy an ozone machine and do it at home, but I can prescribe this liniment with each dental cleaning that we do. And that's what I propose to do. And that's what I hope that I am inspiring others to do. Ozone is the future of veterinary medicine, and when it comes to alternative or complementary medicine, because it can be used for so many things. Rectal ozone is what we use for cancer treatment, and for weakness, severe general malaise, we can use rectal ozone, and they do great. But there's many doctors that are using ozone in other capacities. In acupuncture, you can actually use ozone or ozonated saline or just ozone gas, and you put it in the acupuncture points. And I've done it a couple of times as well. And so I hope that today you learned something, that you're excited like I am about having something that is non-toxic, safe, antimicrobial, anti-inflammatory for your pets, that is actually effective and that is within reach, for all of us integrated practitioners to use and prescribe for our pet owners. And if you learned something, subscribe, share with a friend, and I'll see you in the next one.